Hi everyone, welcome to ISAS. We have with us today our director, Professor Mohan, who will share with us with the recently concluded Trump-Kim summit in Singapore and what his takes are on the outcomes of the summit. Professor Mohan, just perhaps your quick perspectives on how you think the summit went and the outcomes, particularly the document that was signed by Trump and Kim a short while ago.
What we've heard from the two leaders was that this is quite a path-breaking moment, that both sides have come a long way from intense mutual hostility to a set of propositions that would transform the nature of international relations in Northeast Asia and beyond. For many, the lack of details, of course, will be disappointing. But what the summit, I think, has done is to lay out a set of principles and then leave it to the ministers and diplomats to work out the specifics of how actually the goals identified will be realized. So the three basic agreements that have come out of this was that one, Chairman Kim would commit himself to denuclearization would commit himself to denuclearization. Two, President Trump would give security guarantees to the regime in North Korea. And three, together they will build a stable and peaceful regime in the Korean Peninsula. So these are the three elements, and I think what is interesting is that they don't tell us how we're going to do that. For example, what would be the specific nature of the security guarantees? What is the process by which we actually going to get to denuclearization? And what do they mean by a stable regime? What we have is actually that the two sides have said they're going to build friendly relationship, which is the desire of people in both the countries. And then they will build confidence in the coming days, and that in the process of building confidence, they would also advance towards both security assurances from the American side and President Trump insisted on this, quick and rapid moves towards a denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
This statement to enhance confidence building measures as well as to accelerate towards denuclearization, what are the likely steps going forward from here and what can we expect?
Yeah. So my sense is that the statement talks about the Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is going to meet with the North Korean officials and work out a timetable or a roadmap of how the promises made in this statement will be carried forward. So that could be, depending on how strong the confidence has been created, it is possible to imagine at least some important steps will be taken. For example, North Korea could say, begin to offer a clear sense of how it's going to dismantle the nuclear weapons and how the material is going to be exported. President Trump, of course, from the US side, can give a more definitive sense that regime will not be attacked. So I think these formulations is where much of the diplomatic work is going to be ahead, and we're going to see in the coming months how this actually is going to be done.
Now, much of the negotiation today focused on Trump's promise to bring security guarantees to North Korea. What could these likely be?
Look, I think one is the assurance that there will be no regime change, because remember, people have talked about Libya model, where actually the state gives up its nuclear weapons and then the leader has been weekend ousted and executed. So that's not the fate that Kim Jong-un would want. So I think some clarity about the regime security that President Trump will have to formally state. The second is, I think, the question of a decompression of the hostile relationship, which is that is not merely to say, look, we're not going to do regime change. Will there be establishment of diplomatic relations? Will there be some economic assistance flowing? How those things will be tied to what specific steps that on denuclearization that we're likely to see.
Great. Thank you so much, Professor Mohan.